Well, hey there! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to MineFam. You caught me watching some television. Today is episode 11, and I wanted to show you what these noises are from up here. It's my 9 cats. So you can call me the crazy cat lady if you want to, but I'm only 2 away from the advancement in husbandry of taming all the cats. So that's after I tamed, first had Smokey in here and none of the other ones are named. I know, I apologize, but then I ended up taming a couple more because they keep spawning over there while I'm working on the iron towers because of all the villagers in the iron farm. And I haven't looked up exactly how cat spawning mechanics work, but they keep spawning in there, so every time I see one that I don't have yet, I tame him. So I've got all 9 of these types, and I actually don't know what the other 2 look like that I am looking for, but every time I see a different one, I just grab some fish and tame them up. But we have made some progress on the iron towers, and we left off last episode in my creative test world, and since then I have installed all the redstone that has well, that's frustrating. He's stuck and he won't ever move again, but I've installed the redstone back there, which I'll show you in a sec, and then all these, you can see these observer, and look at that, we can zoom now because Optifine is here, but all the observer and note block redstone lines, and those go up or out here and up to each breeding cell, and that is from these clocks, or that excuse me, not these clocks, the selector panel which I showed you last episode, which is this device here. So anytime we hit one of those buttons out front, it sends a signal through one of these lines. And right now I have the snow villagers one on, so we can actually follow that one out. If I lied, we can't follow that one. But if we go out here, and I still haven't done one thing I want to do, and that is run a line of redstone to a indicator light somewhere out here, because I still haven't decided which one I want to go with, but I'm really leaning towards one of these quartz variants because I really like the white. So we'll end up having to change up these paths a little bit, but what I have these in the floor for are the beginnings of our minecart stuff. So what I want here is I'm gonna grab my express lines rails, and then I grabbed 7 dispensers because I want the dispenser right here pointing into a track here, here, and here, and we will power those in a minute. And luckily this guy is gone, or we don't have a guy in here. And so what I can do is do that. That'll angle that rail up, and we can break that. Put these concrete blocks back in their correct positions. Be right. Oh, fantastic. Boom, we'll do that for now. So if we power those rails, and then if we come around back here, if we break this sea lantern for the time being, place a rail there, there, and there, that rail will stay like that. We can put the sea lantern back, and then if we keep those guys powered, which I should probably do, redo that and put a redstone block right there. But the minecart will go when I click this button, and we'll have to figure out how to do this. When we click this button here, it'll send a signal down to the dispenser. It'll pop out a minecart, put him in there, and then it'll go up that, and then the way rails work, it'll go through this block and then come out here grabbing one of those villagers along the way. And then we'll send them on a rail line either here or back here and send them up and around this way. But we'll work on that in a little bit. So I think what I want to do now is make all of these look like that, since I've gone ahead and punched some holes out here, and I might even just go ahead and swap all these out for one of these 2. We'll see where that takes us. Alright, so I've done a thing. I've done a few things. So I think this is the design of the wall I like. And so yeah, I don't think that's gonna change. And I really like those torches right there. I don't want them to be torches, but I need to figure out how we can put some light on that wall, because that makes those white sections pop so much more. But yeah, so we've set up the rail lines back here, and it's stopping right here for now. But this redstone was actually super simple. So the button is on the other side of that block, or there's a repeater on the other side of that block, sorry. Then the button over there. So then this block gets powered, which powers this piece of redstone on this block, which then powers that repeater, which then powers this block, which powers that piece of redstone, which powers that block, which powers the, or powers the block, which powers the block that it's sitting on, which then powers the dropper sitting right beside that rail piece right there. So it was actually a lot more simple than I thought it was going to be, which is nice and handy. So let me put all this back, and then if I hit the button, we have another nice little ding. So if I want a desert villager, I just ding, and then it comes out, and it'll come out this way eventually, but for now it sits right here. And I've also put in this hopper line, so if I drop the minecart in there, it'll flow back down into a hopper underneath it, and then go right back into this dropper. And lost that one. But if it goes through a hopper line, we'll probably send them back this way, and then it will drop into whatever hopper isn't full. And at the moment, it should end up down here, right here. Yep, perfect. So let me just manually put that back in this hopper over here. But yeah, whenever it's going along a hopper line, the hopper that isn't full below it will pick it up, so it won't overflow like that most of the time. Also, check it out, the final 2 cats. So if we look under here, boom, I've got all the cats now. I just need to take them over to the house, and then I guess we have to name them. But I will definitely need help naming them, because there's 11 of them. Well, 10 of them to be named. So we'll see. Also, on these floors, I'm going to fill all this in with something. I just haven't decided what. I've even contemplated switching this cyan terracotta out for a darker color, like gray concrete, so it looks like a similar shade, but it will leave the make this path a little lighter than the outline, which I think I want. So the only thing we might change here is change this all to gray concrete, and then put cyan terracotta here in the middle. But we'll see, because I need a block that breaks up the smooth quartz here from the white concrete on the floor, the wall, and the ceiling. But I don't know which I want to do. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright, I do believe this is the move. So let me switch all of it. Alright, it has all been switched over, and I did a little extra as well since that last clip. I went ahead and put all the walls in. I switched all these to gray concrete, and it's not a huge difference, and it's just enough to make this look a little brighter. I also decided, instead of having the gray concrete come down all the way, I just put sea lanterns under all these carpets, which is going to help me with lighting, of course, and then it's also going to give it just this extra little look of kind of a guardrail of sorts. Well, not a guardrail, but just something to direct you into these stalls instead of just walking over everything. So pretty happy with that. I also just started working on the entrance I want. I did want it to look similar to these. It obviously doesn't look identical, but I do think when I put the door in, I think it'll look pretty good. And as I was saying, the last few videos, I want the eventually the next thing I think we'll tackle is bringing this rail line over this direction in some form or fashion, and making this our zombification area known as Treadstone. Also, when I was putting these rails in, I had to let a couple guys out, and so I just went ahead, and since I'm going to use these snow villagers as my librarians anyway, I figured I should just get started on getting some books. And I got an efficiency 5 book for 24, which will come down to 1 or 2 whenever we do the zombie thing, which I'm very happy with. And then a loyalty 3 book for 30. We may keep this guy, we may not. I don't know. We'll see what happens after we zombify him. I went ahead and moved. That reminds me, I moved my cats back up to my house already. So all 11 breeding, or excuse me, all 11 variants are up there. The reason I'm confused is I had another guy in here. And he was a red shirt guy, the Savannah Villagers, and he was a stonemason, and I don't know where he has gone. So, oh, there he is. Hello, sir. But anyway, the other thing, 2 things I have to show you guys after I sleep. The other 2 things I have to show you guys are just a couple projects. Yeah, we can call them projects. A couple other things that we did as a group. We logged on. Me, Viru, and Flash were all on at the same time, and so Flash was just like, "I'm in the mood to build a farm. You want to build a gold farm?" So we did. So I'll take you up to that and show you how it works. So when we hop out of the portal, the Wither Skeleton farm, we follow that way, and the gold farm is up here. And if I can take off, there we go. I'll show you guys how it works. So when you get up on the farm, you can climb all the way up the scaffolding, but I think it's easier to fly. You get up to the top and stand here, but I don't want to use it for too long because we still don't have a proper storage system. But as you can see, we've tested it out for a little bit. Mainly looking for the gold ingots and the gold nuggets. So a few nuggets here. 1 nugget there. I think we took all the ingots out already. Yeah, but what you do is you stand up here on top of this scaffolding, and if you can see, there's 12 pigmen on glass blocks in around the outside of the circle, and that is so when I anger one of these pigmen, they all come at me, but they're gonna die. So the reason those guys out there are there is so when new ones spawn in, let me turn my volume down. Sorry about that. So when new ones spawn in, you see those guys, they automatically get mad at me because those guys, who are all named Lieutenant Dan, remember that they should be mad at me. So they just come running off the platforms and come meet their doom in the minecarts. And the other project I want to show you guys is right over here, and it's also very loud, so I'm not going to turn my volume back up yet. Alright, so I grabbed some concrete powder because I know Flash is working on his basement storage system over there, and then with me working on this over here, we both decided we needed a concrete maker. And since we already have this TNT duplicator right here for the tree farm, we decided we should hook up a concrete maker attached on the side of it. So what I did is I left those blocks there, but so you have to still come over here and turn the TNT on because I didn't want to mess with any redstone timings for the tree farm, but obviously I wanted to use the TNT. So what we do is we come in here, and I've made a little book for anybody else that comes in here to use it, but we throw all of our concrete powder in here, except for 5. So I'm going to keep 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll just go ahead and throw them in here. Throw the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Throw the rest in here. I'm actually just going to speed this up a little bit. And throw that in there like that. And then I stand right here. Put 1 here. And then flick this switch, which is going to start this piston observer clock. And then whenever these concrete powders get pushed past the water source, they're going to turn into concrete and then head out here and be automatically pushed down in front of the TNT right there. So we turn this on, it gets a little loud, and I need to stand right here on the crack, so I can't put any where my body is, but I want to look right here and just hold right click. And why is that not working now? Oh, there it is. Little lag, that's okay. So then I stand here, there it comes. And I stand here, and then the concrete gets pushed past an observer right beside that door, which automatically spits me the concrete powder. And just like that, I've gone through all 4 stacks of my powder. So we just turn this off, and then I've put this here so that we can go ahead and collect up the rest of this, because of where the TNT blows up, there's going to be a little bit left over. I should probably go turn off the duplicator first so I don't keep getting hit like that, but that's okay. And now whenever that goes next, I can close this, fly over here, turn it off, and then all the concrete powder is pushed into that last chest over there. As you can see, whoop, right over there. Come turn this off, and then I will have all 4 stacks. Boom, still coming in actually. And that should end on math 52. Well, I ended up being 3 short, and it's probably my fault because I should probably turn the TNT off before I start breaking those blocks, because if I break one of those blocks at the right time, a TNT can drop and blow up the concrete that I just broke and destroy it. So then, therefore, losing the block that I just made. So I probably should go turn off the TNT before I do that, the breaking the extra blocks, but that's okay. But yeah, so let's see if we can do anything else down here before I run out of time today. All right, the last thing I figured we could do today before I wrap it up is show you, just kind of like give you an idea of what I want this place to look like. So as you see, I went ahead and guided these rails up and into the rail line going across the wall. So all those, as you've seen before, the rails all come together on this line. And I wanted it to be so we could see the villager go through this line and into that hole. I think it'd just be cool to see the villager you want just riding across the wall. And one thing I haven't mentioned yet is that when you're in a biome, so right now we are standing in a spruce biome or whatever that's called. Well, let's see. It is a mountains biome. So we get spruce villagers. If we just if you're in creative and you throw down a villager seed, you would get a spruce villager. So therefore, whenever you're breeding, there is a 50% chance that you get the villagers that are breeding together. And there's a 50% chance you get a villager of the biome that you are standing in. So this is the plains villager pod, but as you can see, there's some spruce villagers in there because of that 50-50 shot that we have. So the other part of this is that you can see if that's the villager you want or not, and we will probably be getting a lot of villager heads from the villagers we don't want. So that I forgot to mention that earlier today, so I figured I could let you in on that. But these villagers are going to come through this rail line and into the back here, where I think I'm going to lead this to this side to kind of set their trade, and then lead them to this side to do the zombification process, and then have them kind of transfer back and forth until we have what we want, and then we'll send them out some way this way. We might even have this go around this corner here because this is a lot of empty space right here that we need to do something with. So we'll see where that takes us. But I think that's going to be it from me today. Ooh, one other thing. Check out my wings. That's right, I did. I wanted to support Optifine because they do such a fantastic job. And as you can see, they have the connected, I have the connected glass textures over there. So I got to design my own cape, which goes on the elytra as well. Thoughts about it, good, bad, whatever you think, leave them in the comments. But guys, I thank you for watching the videos, and thank you for all the support. Wow, words are hard. But hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, leave a like, and if you want to stay tuned with what all we do, please hit that subscribe button, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.